Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Bitcoin's price continues to inch closer to 10,000 US dollars, rallying 5.68% to reach $9,600 on the 28th of May after breaking out of the falling wedge pattern on Wednesday. The top-ranked cryptocurrency on CoinMarketCap pushed through 9,350, a level traders expected to present resistance and make a beeline, or a direct shot, for $9,500. Today's rally brings Bitcoin's price to the $9,600 to $9,800 zone, where the digital asset traded from the 13th of May to the 20th, and it also increases the likelihood of a return to 10,000 US dollars. Interestingly, data from Cointelegraph and Skew shows a large number of Bitcoin futures contracts, including the 184 million and CME Bitcoin futures scheduled to expire this Friday. Little chart right there. Earlier this week, Skew tweeted, 23K Bitcoin equivalent futures and 10K Bitcoin options are set to expire this Friday on CME. Approximately 50% of open interest for each product. Watch the rolls. We've seen before in the past, since around 2017, my goodness, how much time has passed. Historically, when Bitcoin futures have expired, Bitcoin's price, the actual Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin futures price, tends to move upward quite rapidly. And as we have been stuck around the 9,000-esque range, we may finally see a push above the $10,000 mark. Nothing really stopping us from moving beyond that, except for the potential expectations of people and or manipulation behind the scenes within the market. Yep, it says Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin to US dollar explodes to 9,600. Can bulls take down $10,000 critical level? My hands are actually in the air. I can't begin to even think of telling you what could possibly happen next. I told you a lot of this news wasn't going to pop up until Monday. Lo and behold, we got it on a Thursday and a Friday. Look at how lucky we are. Nothing really stopping us from getting past 10,000, except for some type of psychological barrier that may not really exist amongst people. But I assume if we get too close to it and kind of hover around it, I assume bears or whales, whatever animal you want, will start to push the price back down again, and then we'll start to get that same exact news about the negative narrative and 8,200 and et cetera, et cetera. Keeping in mind, once again, also, we are currently roughly around $9,500, $9,600 per Bitcoin. Remember the news articles that we had about 7-8 days ago talking about a $4,000 Bitcoin, a $5,000 Bitcoin. They seemingly have all gone hush-hush with that news. Anyway, yeah, the market is actually doing pretty well right now. No reason why it shouldn't have done well before, but this is where we are. And yeah, let's move on. In partially news that was everywhere news, shortly after Goldman's report claimed that Bitcoin is not an asset class, the rebuttal that followed from millions of Bitcoin supporters was overwhelming. Some sections suspect foul play. There's a little pretty photo right there. The world's largest investment bank, Goldman Sachs, announced during its client call that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are not an asset class. Needless to say, the backlash and criticism the statement drew were terrific. Understanding also, once again, the history that we've had within the cryptocurrency space. Banks tend to say that they don't like us. Banks before in the past have restricted people from using their own money to be able to buy cryptocurrencies. The problem is, if that track record had held, I think we'd have a bit more of a clear understanding as to how exactly banks are going to be treating cryptocurrencies in the future, or their overall feeling towards them. However, nearly every bank, every major institution, money, has claimed at some point that they hate Bitcoin. They have a seething desire to see it crumble and go away. And lo and behold, nearly all of them have come out of the woodworks around 2 years later saying blockchain's not that bad. And then it becomes, well, I could see the potential use for Bitcoin in the future. And then the final step, the third one, is always, oh yeah, Bitcoin is going to make it and we've been buying it for years. So the world's largest investment bank, Goldman Sachs, announced during its client call the cryptocurrencies, let's read that part. Soon after Goldman's presentation was circulated, critics started pouring in. Some sections of Bitcoin supporters suspect it to be sheer hypocrisy. The presentation prepared by Goldman Sachs reads, and I quote, "Cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoins, are not an asset class," end quote. The deduction gave by them is based on the following points. They said, Bitcoin does not generate cash flow. No exposure to global economic growth means Bitcoin won't generate any earnings because of the various developments worldwide. Bitcoin is highly volatile. The report cited the case of the 37% drop on the 12th of March. They said there is no proven case of Bitcoin acting as an inflation hedge. The presentation also states that hedge funds find Bitcoin attractive simply because of the high volatility, without having to really read much further. If we get news over the next 2 years that Goldman Sachs is either going to be custodying Bitcoin, that's usually one of the first steps as well. We don't tell our clients to buy it, but we offer them around $50 million worth of insurance if they want to hold it with us. That's usually the first step. I am going to assumption and just say that Goldman Sachs and many other banks who come out forwardly saying that they hate Bitcoin are probably buying it up themselves. We've discussed that many other times before in the past. It's not me tinfoil hatting. It's just logical. I don't know if you know about the actual allocations that these banks have towards the end of a fiscal year. The extra remaining money, air quotes, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that have no real place to go except for back into the pockets of people. And they sit there and decide and discuss, where should we put this money? Is there anything else that looks to be emerging? Any other trends, any other markets that we could possibly get into to potentially make money? $15 million, $50 million is not really a lot to any of these people. So one can only assume that it's sprinkled across many other cryptocurrencies as well. A lot of people were not too happy with this. I almost cursed. The point is, don't really care what they have to say. Because in the end, like I said historically, if we had seen the 15 banks that hated us before still hating us now, they've all come over to the crypto side. So one can only assume that either Goldman Sachs is already there and simply telling people no, 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 or they will be forced there as the world continues to be ravaged by the and I dare use the S word, the stupidity of central banks and other entities who just don't know how to do. If you haven't seen what's been happening, or I understand not wanting to read or see the news, especially in times like this. What's happening in many countries around the world is just phenomenal. It's like something out of really out of the Hunger Games. It's just not the idea that you would continuously, and it's not just one country, continue to print money in an effort to hold up airline stocks, to hold up major companies who already have billions in their coffers, and you give none to the actual citizens. Once again, this is not one country. This is happening everywhere. It is quite fascinating to see that the people who run countries and run governments just really don't care about anyone. And this is, once again, what draws people into the cryptocurrency space. Because once they figure out the ideology behind it and the I can be my own bank, I don't need someone else to tell me what I can do with my own money, it's a really big fire starter. Anyway, Bitcoin's price, after hearing Goldman Sachs being critical of the cryptocurrency space, actually rallied, which is how it should be, because almost cursed again. The point is, Bitcoin is resilient. Any movements down are, and the books and the documentaries that we're going to have in the next 10 to 15 years about everything that's been happening now, don't be surprised if there's a whistleblower at some point who's like, yeah, I used to work for Goldman Sachs and they used to tell us to buy and sell as hard as possible. I don't know why I gave it that accent. It's kind of just flew out. Anyway, that's the Bitcoin price news. And without further ado, let us move on. When I say news that was everywhere news, I mean it. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has finally put a date to the launch of Shelley, the next major milestone in Cardano's roadmap. According to Hoskinson, the initial phases of Shelley's arrival will begin as early as the 9th of June and will go live by the 30th of June if everything goes ahead as planned. That is 11 days away for the beginning of Shelley. And by the 32 days from now, we should have a complete implementation of Shelley. And if it says if everything goes as planned, you've had 3 years. This. Come on, let's do it. Speaking on the Cardano Crowdcast podcast, Hoskinson outlined the launch or the plan to launch Shelley over the course of the coming month. He said, and I do quote, "Guys want to know when Shelley is? Let's tell ya. He said June 9. This is when it opens up to everybody. The next date we have for you is June 16. That's when we start putting things together end to end." End quote. Hoskinson added that the update could be shipped by as early as the 30th of June. He said if everything works without a hitch, June 30, we're shipping Shelley. Hoskinson referenced the long, difficult task of getting Shelley ready for the public. The Cardano founder has previously come under criticism for failing to add substance to Cardano's white paper potential in the form of hard launch dates. So, here we are, my friends. We now have definitive dates, and I think this was done for 2 reasons. One was because Vitalik Buterin kind of backtracked, if you will, air quotes, on the launch date of Ethereum 2.0. This gave Cardano a little bit more wiggle room. And also, I don't know if you've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks, Hoskinson has been bombarded by tons of people. Like I said, and I have said it before, we can only wait for so long. If you tell people in 2017 that something is going to come by the end of 2017 and or mid 2018, and we are scratching the surface of summer 2020, people get a little annoyed. So, Cardano's price has gone up, as one logically would assume, because we have a number date. And I'll even go as far as to say, I will wait until the 30th of June. If we get any reference, any indication that this is going to take until October, right. So, yeah, this was everywhere. Everyone is, probably going to be dead set on these days. So currently the price of Cardano is, it's bumped up, if you will. It says 15%. I saw like a 17% and a 14%. It's kind of, it's upwardly fluctuating. I'm going to wait for about 3 or 4 days, maybe, me, myself. This is me, how I deal with my own money, to see if prices fall down a bit. I was discussing with one of my friends. We are actively waiting to see how this is going to play out. I'm going to, once again, for the money, continue to myself accumulate Cardano because I have a feeling that $1 will not be that far off, especially if Bitcoin does potentially continue to rise. Very big profits to be made, but that's just how it goes. I was going to say some crazy stuff, but let's continue on. Yeah, so we finally have a date for Cardano. I can't say that I am not shocked, but here we are. Also in news that was slightly everywhere news, US-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is airdropping OmiseGo coins to long-time Ethereum holders. Twitter revealed the news today. It says if you have been loyal to Ethereum or ETH holders with an account on Coinbase Exchange at least since the 7th of July 2017, Coinbase has an awkward surprise for you. Coinbase users having ETH in their accounts will be receiving OMG coins at least for the last 3 years. So the news goes, if you've been holding OmiseGo for 3 years now in your Coinbase account, rather Ethereum in your account for 3 years without any movements, you are going to receive OmiseGo. It says OmiseGo is a relatively lesser known Ethereum token. It is the fuel behind OmiseGo smart contracts platform that enables businesses today with more financial independence. OmiseGo was really widely spoken about in 2017 and the beginning of 2018. I think they had formed a partnership with McDonald's in Thailand. I think they also signed a memorandum of understanding with a couple of Southeast Asian governments. And what was the other thing that they did? They were fairly present. And then around mid-2018, the people from OmiseGo said that they didn't want to continue putting out too much news because they were afraid of hype price bumps. And then they kind of disappeared from the news. Its primary objective is to facilitate the movements of funds between different payment systems seamlessly and securely. By eliminating the need to rely on conventional banking services, it essentially offers a platform inclusive of the unbanked population of the world. This is great, and this is also awkward for, and I'm here to be honest with you. This is pretty cool if you've had Ether on Coinbase for the last 3 years and haven't movement. I mean, that's going to be a very thin amount of people, let me tell you. The other part is, for those of you who were not here during 2017, 18, and the beginning of 2019, governments have a very big problem with airdropped coins, and you probably will as well. Why, you might say? So the issue is that governments figured out around 2019 what an airdrop was, and they were like, oh, we have to tax those. So if you happen to have Ether in your Coinbase account and you receive OmiseGo, you're going to have to also file that on your taxes. I received X amount of OmiseGo because of the equivalent of Ether that I also have, which then also kind of puts you in the situation where you also then have to declare how many Ether you have, and the ball continues rolling this way. Not that it's terrible in any way, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this right now will love the idea of getting free OmiseGo. Just understand that these airdrops create taxable events, so don't want anybody getting into any troubles. But yeah, here's the actual tweet right here. It says, while Coinbase follows up and distributes OMG to users who didn't get credited for the airdrop in 2017. Cool. I think it's actually wonderful. Like I told you all before, for those of you who do not know, I have OmiseGo. I have not sold my OmiseGo. I have not sold any coins. This seems to be a common question. Have I sold my coins? Nope. I still have everything. Everything. Have not sold anything, not even my Ken. I have everything, and that's just how I go. But yeah. Let's move on. In what in the world is happening news, Facebook-owned digital wallet Calibra has rebranded itself as Navi. And I don't know if that's Novi. I assume it's Novi, earlier today, sharing new details about the project. The primary reason for the name change was to avoid the confusion with the Libra cryptocurrency. A representative for Novi told Cointelegraph, they said, when we announced Libra and Calibra last June, we wanted to demonstrate that Calibra, the digital wallet, was closely linked to Libra, the global payment system. Both brands were born out of the same vision to give people more access to the global economy. However, we found that Calibra and Libra sounded too familiar because it's just a K in front of it, and people were getting confused. So we set out to create distinction between the two. The new name, which comes from the Latin words novus for new and via for way, intends to signal that Facebook's development product won't be the only wallet available on the Libra blockchain. They said, we hope that Novi will be one of the many wallets, the spokesperson said. For those of you who don't know, the speculation has been since 2018? That's the Calibra, now the Novi, I have no, whatever. The new wallet, will maybe in the future also incorporate other cryptocurrencies, or rather cryptocurrencies in general, because Calibra isn't a cryptocurrency. Well, Libra isn't It is confusing. Yeah, I get it now. Libra, the coin, is not a cryptocurrency. It's going to be the most centralized thing we've ever seen on this planet. Speculation was before that they planned on adding other cryptocurrencies to the wallet, but I assume a lot of this will begin with stablecoins. Don't be mistaken. If Bookface does indeed add Bitcoin to this wallet, Bitcoin's going to skyrocket just simply because of logic. Anyway, yeah, here's the actual press release. Yeah, this is it. Novi. Welcome to Novi, a new digital wallet for Libra. Wonderful. Oh, wait. With Novi, sending money will be easy as sending a message. You'll be able to use Novi as a standalone app, as well as in Messenger and WhatsApp. There will be no hidden charges to add, send, receive, or withdraw money, and your transfers will arrive instantly. All Novi customers will be verified. Yo, like I said, here we go. All Novi customers will be verified using government-issued ID, and fraud protections will be built in throughout the app. And whenever you want, you'll have 24/7 access to our chat-based support and customer care team. Oh, yeah, get ready for that. Get ready for that. I assume there's going to be an obnoxious amount of messages on Facebook when you're on Messenger asking if you want the new Navi. You want a Navi? You want to be a Navi? You want to join our club, Navi? And the moment you click yes, they'll be asking you to upload an ID to verify who you are. And I assume that'll also come with linking your bank details, which will be very fun. I'm pretty sure people are going to love that. Anyway, this seems to be rolling along. I mean, it's a bit corroded in its look and smell at this point, but yeah, it seems that Libra is still on track to be released. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, TD Ameritrade-backed crypto exchange ErisX has announced the launch of Big Blocks Trading, or OTC, over-the-counter, in its markets. The move is set to increase private transactions of big game traders on the platform on a large variety of crypto spot and future pairs. In a press release on Tuesday, ErisX released the plans to offer big time traders, institutions, and rich people with deeper liquidity and multi-custodial solutions on the new over-the-counter platform. Over-the-counter trades allows peer-to-peer exchange agreements with the settlement carried out on the ErisX clearinghouse. The new platform will allow privately negotiated trades to be submitted off the exchange, given the size and value of the trades. However, ErisX will be the settlement party, making sure that every detail discussed and set beforehand are followed at settlement. Wow, cool. This was to be expected. I think every major platform has some type of an OTC counter at this point. I don't think this should be surprising to anyone. I guess maybe because it's TD Ameritrade? Could be. I don't know. But yeah, another over-the-counter market thingy, simply because, you know, logic. If you put in a buy order for $45 million just buying Bitcoin, going to move the market. So people buy over-the-counter to get the coins at a certain price that they want without having the market fluctuations. And yeah, that's that. This was also kind of all over the place, but it's just logical that ErisX would have done this. Yeah. And to finish things off, where are the words? The International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, has predicted that banks will struggle to generate profits for at least 5 years after the global economy recovers from 19. The IMF explained that banks were struggling before 19, so their troubles will extend to at least 2025, well beyond the immediate effects of the current situation. Keep all of that in mind. I find it so funny. I don't know if you've seen the recent happenings within the stock markets around the world. Yeah, they keep going up, regardless of how many people are saying over and over, you're not looking to, it's like you, whatever. The point is, they keep saying things are going to get worse, and for some reason the stocks keep going up. The IMF expects that banks will continue to struggle to generate earnings after the global economy recovers from the current economic crisis. In its most recent Global Financial Stability Report, the IMF examined banks across 9 advanced economies and found that they will struggle to generate profits over the next 5 years, as 19 has created a period of low interest rates. They said banks' earning challenges emerged prior to 19 and will extend for the next 5 years, well beyond the immediate effects of the current situation. I hope, I know it won't happen, but I do hope in many ways. I wish that we would learn from our mistakes. I wish that we would do better. I wish that the banking system would be cleansed and reemerged as a brand new entity that looked to help people and or allow people to join the world economic stage, not be corrupt, and not try to have negative interest rates, which are going to be great. Because when a bank gives you that letter and says that we have negative interest rates, and usually what happens when banks send out letters and you get that letter and you read the first line, making sure that it's not a bill, you throw it away, not realizing that that piece of paper will say we now have negative interest rates, which many people will not understand. And every month, 0.5% of the money in your bank account will be given to us so that we can stay afloat. All the indications are there that things will probably not get better monetarily anytime soon. And the World Bank, the IMF, and major other banks as well have also come to the same conclusion, pretty much stating that things are garbage and will remain as such. But the stock market continues to rise. How incredible is that? Yeah, give me half a second. For some reason, I keep charging my phone and think that I can reach it across the other side of the room. That's not how arms work. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia569, Yasha Harari, Moonman High, XRP, The Pothead, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Chongo Lolo, Tsongo Lolo, Nostromo, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Moroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien Set, Suna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, Hold On, I Have to Sneeze. Oh yeah, that was the last one. Hold On, I Have to Sneeze. Thank you. I kept on. Wow. Hope. Thank you all very, very much for your support. I'm an idiot. Thank you to everyone who is a subscriber of the new channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. And thank you to all of you in general for everything. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is up by 3.27%. It is at $9,463 US. Ethereum is up by 6.7%, rushing up higher. EOS is up by 3.4. Tezos is up by 6.6. And unsurprisingly, Cardano is up by 14%. This was around the 17% spike. It's come down a tiny bit. However, this momentum will probably remain for about a day or two. I'm expecting this is me, a fall back down as the hype kind of, cools off. And that's when I will be looking to accumulate more. I would love around the 5-cent region, because every 1,000 you put in gets you 20,000 Cardano. 2, 4, 5, 10. Yeah, so 5,000 equals 100,000 Cardano, hits $1. Bob's your uncle. Nothing too, I said nothing too crazy. The market's literally all over the place at this point. Yeah, I think that is going to do it for this video. Very interesting times we are living in, all across the board. Not just in one corner. It's from A to Z. Everything is a bit all over the place. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.